网有点卡。Hey, what's up, everyone? This is English Reading 100 Days Challenge, and today is day 8. Okay, here we go. Can you hear me? Can you hear my mic?
Wait a minute. Let me see.
I think that, I don't know. Maybe it's working, maybe it's not. I think it's working.
Or not.
Hello there. Welcome. This is Reading English 100 Days Challenge. And I'm going to reading Marketing 4.0. And today is day 8. Okay. I'm going to read chapter 7. Industry archetypes and best practices. The best practices are channel, brand, sales, and service management. Okay. To understand market results, we need to make use of the concept of consumer path. It shows how the consumer moves from no awareness of a product or service to high awareness, interest, purchase, repurchase, and even word of mouth. In real life, customer paths are very complex and what's that word? Heterogeneous and involve diverse traditional and digital media combinations. The market in which the brands play influences the complexity of consumer path. An industry with low purchase risks, typically due to low price points and high purchase frequency, typically has a simpler and shorter consumer path. On the other hand, an industry with high purchase risks typically has higher consumer involvement and therefore a more complex and longer consumer path. Moreover, the same industry often exhibits different consumer path patterns in different geographical markets. Even in the same industry and in the same geographical area, different brands can show different consumer path patterns. Bigger brands tend to have more touch points, which allow customers to experience a wider set of interaction possibilities. Smaller brands typically have a deeper intimacy and limited number of touch points. The characteristics of consumer segments that the brands engage with the brand positioning decisions also contribute to the heterogeneity. I'm just...
What?
Okay, that is why we simplify diverse consumer path possibilities into the generic 5A's framework, which can be applied to all industries. With the same generic framework, we are able to derive patterns that define several key industry archetypes, especially in the area of technological convergence and disruption innovation. The walls between industries are blurring. Using the 5A's framework, we can learn how other industries cope with their challenges. Moreover, we can draw insights on how to win a specific industry by comparing the brand advocacy ratio bar statistics. Four major industry archetypes, visualizing conversion rates, attraction, curiosity, commitment, and affinity levels across the 5A's helps uncover important insights into industry characteristics. We found at least 4 major patterns that exist across industries: doorknob, goldfish, trumpet, and funnel. Each pattern represents a distinctive industry archetype, and each with a specific customer behavior model and different set of challenges. Doorknob, goldfish, trumpet, and funnel. Okay, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. Okay, doorknob have prior expectation and preferences, have lower attachment toward brand, aggressive branding and marketing communications, many competing brands. Doorknob, the awareness is high. Awareness is always high. Funnel purchase is mostly planted. Trust the real experience, not claims. Competing brands can easily be compared. Product is paired with strong customer experience, industrial characteristics. This chart is kind of abstract. Okay, mapping industry archetypes. Pattern 1, doorknob. The first major and most common pattern is doorknob. The most distinctive feature of the doorknob pattern is the high commitment despite the low curiosity level. A high commitment despite the low curiosity level. Okay. A well-known industry with the doorknob customer path is consumer packaged goods. In a doorknob pattern, consumers do not spend time to research and evaluate options. Since the price points are relatively low. Coke? Consumers do not feel the need to learn more about competing brands. So awareness, appeal, ask, act, and advocate. Okay. Since the price points are relatively low, consumers do not feel the need to learn more about competing brands. Moreover, purchases are usually frequent and habitual. Thus, consumers already have expectations and preferences regarding certain brands from past experience. A typical doorknob category is also highly fragmented, with a large number of brands competing for millions of consumers. Due to the emotional nature of the purchase decision, many brands in the same categories are occupied a distinctive positioning in consumers' minds despite having similar product specifications. Purchases are often instant and impulsive, driven by relatively low prices and tempting promotions. Hence, competing brands often spend huge amounts of money to sway consumers in their direction with appealing marketing communications. This tendency often initiates brand wars among major rivals, pursuing higher market share. Availability at the point of purchase is also often a key deciding factor within a doorknob category. Although customers may not be attracted to a brand, they may end up buying the brand simply because it is the only one available at the point of purchase. Another key characteristic of the doorknob pattern is low consumer affinity toward brands they use. Many customers who purchase a brand are not willing to recommend the brand, since consumers have low risks due to the low price points. And brands heavily promote their products. Brand switching is very common. Therefore, many brands attempt to build customer engagement and improve customer loyalty. Coca-Cola, for example, introduced the My Coke rewards, in which members can earn points by purchasing a bottle of Coke and performing several activities, such as playing games and conversing through social media. Based on their points, members are classified into bronze, silver, and gold tiers, with additional benefits available at higher tiers. Pattern 2, golden fish. Goldfish. The second major pattern is goldfish. The most distinguished feature of the goldfish pattern is a high curiosity level. Ask bigger than appeal. The goldfish customer path pattern is found mostly in business to business situation, business to business contexts. In a goldfish category, consumers typically consider many factors before they decide which brand to choose. Consumers may often feel the need to ask questions, consider advice from third-party sources, and have multiple interactions with competing brands before making their purchase decisions. In many cases, competing brands, even the major ones, are trapped in a highly commoditized industry with advertising really works. Hence the low attraction level. The industry players often have difficulty designing and conveying their differentiation. In the end, competing players typically offer similar bundled solutions. Thus, customers usually spend more time to evaluate alternatives to find the best offering. For example, OTA industry. The buying process is typically very long, involving numerous stakeholders with different interests. In most cases, buyers manage a complex buying organization supported by teams that have strong product knowledge and procurement capabilities. Both sellers and buyers are often very specialized, with a small number of sellers selling to a small number of buyers. Hence, their research and evaluation processes, the ask stage, are often very rough, very thorough, and evaluation results of competing brands are typically very similar. In many cases, consumer intimacy becomes the deciding factor. Although very rare, there are instances of goldfish patterns found in business-to-consumer markets, especially in industries with high involvement, with high price points, but with very commoditized offerings. Example of this is the travel industry. You see the travel industry. In a particular case of family travel, the best decision involves a group of stakeholders, parents and children, and a relatively long buying process. Benefits and cost comparisons are also a major step in the consumer path, reflecting the higher degree of ask. Pattern 3, Trumpet. The third major pattern is the trumpet pattern, found mostly in lifestyle categories such as luxury cars, luxury watches, and the designer handbags. The uniqueness of this pattern lies in its high affinity levels. People who follow the trumpet pattern typically trust the quality of category brands. Hence, they are willing to advocate brands even if they do not buy and use those brands. In other words, the number of advocates is higher than the number of actual buyers. Advocate bigger than act. Okay, luxury cars, luxury watches, and designed handbags. In a trumpet category, consumers are highly involved in purchase decision. Their evaluation process, however, is relatively easy because most brands in a trumpet category have already developed a strong yet specific reputation for quality. The quality association is typically built over a long period of time through word of mouth. People who are attracted to certain brands usually connect in communities. The presence of consumer communities often influences potential buyers to learn more about that quality. Due to the very high price points involved, there are fans who aspire but cannot afford to buy brands in a trumpet category. They, however, are more than willing to recommend this brand to others, even when they can afford the brands at the larger stage. They might not have access to them. Most brands in a trumpet category are very niched. Since scarcity increases brand appeal for potential buyers, marketers in a trumpet category do not really focus on expanding channel availability. Although most CPG categories fall into the doorknob pattern, over-the-counter OTC drugs typically fall into the trumpet pattern. Non-buyers are willing to recommend trusted brands even though they are not currently use those brands. The key difference between a trumpet pattern in lifestyle products and a trumpet pattern in OTC drugs is the reason why not all advocates actually buy them. In lifestyle category, it is all a matter of affordability and accessibility. In OTC drugs, on the other hand, some advocates do not buy their own recommended drugs simply because they do not need the drugs at the moment. When they do, they know which ones to buy. Pattern 4, funnel. The fourth major pattern is the traditional funnel. In your funnel category, most purchases are well planned and customers are highly involved in the purchase decision. In fact, this is the only pattern in which consumers go through each stage of the consumer path on the road to purchase and advocacy. They ask questions about the brands they like and eventually purchase the brand if they like what they hear from the conversation. They advocate only if they have experienced the product themselves. They advocate only if they have experienced the product themselves. The funnel pattern is found mostly in consumer durables as well as in service industry. In your funnel category, the overall consumer experience really matters because consumers do not skip any stage and any drop brand from their consideration sets anywhere across the consumer path. The act is especially important for consumers given that they would like to immerse themselves in the purchase and usage experience. Hence, unlike in a doorknob category, they will where positioning can be superficial. In a funnel category, positioning must be deeply rooted in the actual experience. It is important for brands in a funnel category to manage multiple touchpoints such as advertising, awareness, appeal, websites, and call center as sales channel act, as well as post-purchase services advocates. Although brand switching is infrequent in a funnel category, are diminishing quality of consumer experience over time may prompt consumers to consider other brands or even trade up the more premium brands, even trade up to more premium brand. Since consumers continuously expect better consumer experience over time, a funnel category is perhaps the one most prone to disruptive innovations. As discussed in Chapter 4, most disruptive innovations, especially those related to emerging technology, occur in industries with high consumer experience expectations, such as durables and service industries. Thus, brands in a funnel category should focus on both incremental improvements and customer experience innovations. Bowtie, a fifth pattern. Each of the four major patterns of consumer path has an inherent strengths and shortcomings. Combining all the positive strengths of the four major patterns results in an ideal consumer path pattern, which is shaped like a symmetric bow tie. Aware, appeal, ask, act, advocate. A real appeal, ask advocates, attraction, curiosity, commitment, and affinity. Zutao 回去。This chart, the ideal bow tie pattern. This is great. Okay. 有人 at 你。The ideal bow tie pattern. The bow tie pattern reflects the key traits of a perfect brand. In a bow tie category, superficial. No. I'm gonna highlight superficial. Who is aware of a brand is willing to recommend the brand because of its stellar reputation. This means that brand accomplishes a perfect bar score of 1, aware equal advocates. Moreover, the brand appeal is so strong that everyone who is attracted to the brand ends up buying it. Appeal equals act. Not everyone who is attracted to the brand feels the need to research further. Reflecting a clear positioning and the right level of curiosity, brands with doorknob, goldfish, trumpet, and funnel consumer patterns should strive to obtain this perfect bow tie pattern. Superimposing. What does it mean? Superimposing. Highlights in yellow. Superimposing the bow tie on one of the 4 major patterns reveals gaps and opportunities for improvement. Brands with the doorknob consumer path may improve their affinity level by building post-purchase engagement programs. This is the challenge faced by many CPG brands amidst overwhelming amidst
男女是什么鬼？我没懂，为什么这么说？
amidst overwhelming brand switching. Brands with the Trumpet pattern may improve commitment level by improving affordability and channel accessibility without diluting the brand's appeal. Luxury and aspirational brands as Tesla face such challenges. Brands with a funnel pattern, on the other hand, should improve both their commitment and affinity level. This illustrates the significant challenge faced by durables and service brands to balance between sales and after-sales services, but the hardest work needs to be done by brands with the goldfish consumer pattern. They need not only to improve their commitment and affinity level, but to optimize their curiosity level. Marketers in B2B sectors face this rough challenge because they deal with generally savvy customers. Doorknob increase affinity. Doorknob needs to increase affinity. Trumpet needs increased commitment, and goldfish optimize curiosity, increase commitment, and increase affinity. Funnel increase commitment and increase affinity. Improving the consumer path, the company path across industry archetypes. 4 marketing best practices. Bar, pie. Key success factors: word of mouth, marketing dominance, branding, service, no word of mouth, marketing dominance, bar, medium, narrow, no word of mouth, marketing dominance, word of mouth, no marketing dominance. Learning from four industry best practices. Summary: learning from different industries. Part 3: Tactical marketing applications in the digital economy. Human-centric marketing for brand attractions. Human-centric human-centric marketing for brand attraction. Building authentic brands as friends. In recent marketing literature, customers are most always portrayed as the most powerful players. In recent marketing literature, customers are almost always portrayed as the most powerful players. Nevertheless, marketers often forget the human side of consumers, which is clearly manifest which is clearly manifest in digital era. They are not perfect and they feel vulnerable to marketing ploys. They feel vulnerable to marketing ploys. Hence, they build communities to strengthen their positions. Hi there, you are still there. Thanks. Hope you enjoy it. Okay. Marketers need to adapt to this new reality and create brands that behave like humans, approachable and likable, but not vulnerable. Marketers, okay. I need to pause. I need to pause and think about this. Marketers need to adapt to this new reality and create brands that behave like humans, approachable and likable, but not vulnerable. Brands should become less intimidating, they should become authentic and honest. Admit their flaws and stop trying to seem perfect. Driven by core values, human-centric brands treat consumers as friends, becoming an integral becoming an integral becoming an integral part of their lifestyle. Integral part. Driven by core value, human-centric brands treat customers as friends, becoming an integral part of their lifestyle. In Marketing 3.0, we introduced this concept of human-centric marketing as the natural outgrowth of consumer-centric marketing. And product-centric marketing. In human-centric marketing, product-centric, consumer-centric, human-centric. Human-centric marketing, marketers approach customers as whole human beings with minds, hearts, and spirits. Marketers fulfill not only consumers' functional and emotional needs, but also address their latent anxiety, address their latent anxiety and desire. as we transition. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks.